Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you my exact take profit and yield farming strategy for how you can turn a $5,000 investment into $135,000 investing into ZKML, which stands for Zero Knowledge Machine Learning. Now guys, before I get into it, this is a high risk, high reward play. So I'm only using less than 1% of my entire portfolio on this trade / yield farming strategy. So in this video, we're going to cover what a zero knowledge proof is. We're going to go through the ZKML white paper. We're going to talk about what problem they're solving, what solutions they're offering. We're going to go over their tokenomics. We're going to go over their roadmap. We're going to go to the website. And at the end, I'm going to show you my step-by-step take profit strategy on how to turn 5K into 135K. And I'm going to show you my yield farming strategy and show you how you can accumulate ZKML at over 500% APY against ETH. So before we hop into it, I do have to say this video should not be taken as financial advice. These are just my own opinions, perspectives, and research, and it should be treated as such. Always do your own research, but use this channel as a starting point. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video, starting off with what is a zero knowledge proof. Now in my videos talking about how to analyze a layer 1 blockchain, I talked about this in depth, so definitely give that video a watch if you haven't. But you hear about ZK rollups and optimistic rollups. They're both like different layer 2 scaling technologies. Optimistic rollups is basically optimistic that the transaction is legit, and you get a period where you can challenge it. And if it's not challenged, the process goes through. And this is why it takes like 7 days to bridge using the OP native bridge. Zero knowledge proofs, however, are newer and they're faster. And the thing that makes them different is that, like, picture where's Waldo, right? You need to know where Waldo is and how to find him, if that makes sense. So a zero knowledge proof allows you to prove that you found Waldo without showing how you found it, right? And this is applicable to transactions, to proof of funds, to like literally any kind of transaction you can think about. There's a use case for zero knowledge proofs. And you've heard me talk about how I believe layer 2s are going to be a huge narrative. I think zero knowledge technology is going to be a part of that narrative as well. So this investment will get to benefit from multiple narratives, the ZK rollup narrative, as well as the layer 2 narrative. Technically, as well as the Bitcoin halving and Bitcoin ETF narrative and ETH ETF narrative, if an ETH ETF does get approved, which I think it will. So now do you know what a zero knowledge proof is and how it comes to a consensus? Roughly, I know I didn't go into super detail, but like I said, watch the other video if you haven't. Let's dive straight into the ZKML white paper and start going through their value proposition. All right, so in the introduction, it says, in the rapidly evolving landscape of blockchain technology, privacy and security have emerged as critical factors influencing user adoption and trust. Traditional blockchain networks often suffer from privacy vulnerabilities, exposing users to risks such as transaction surveillance, identity theft, and data breaches. Recognizing these challenges, ZKML was conceived as a solution to address the growing need for privacy-centric blockchain platforms. By leveraging cutting-edge cryptographic techniques such as zero-knowledge proofs, etc., ZKML offers users a secure and private environment for conducting their digital transactions and communications. So now let's go on to talk about the problem. It says traditional blockchain networks often grapple with the inherent privacy vulnerabilities, exposing users to risks such as transaction surveillance, identity theft, and data breaches. Existing solutions fail to provide adequate privacy and security measures, hindering user adoption and trust in blockchain platforms. Moreover, the lack of interoperability between different blockchain networks further exacerbate the challenge, limiting users' ability to seamlessly transfer assets and data across platforms while maintaining confidentiality and integrity. Recognizing these pressing challenges, there is a critical need for a comprehensive blockchain platform that prioritizes user privacy, security, and cross-chain interoperability. So guys, like, you hear about how cool blockchains are, but if you're a large institution, your biggest liability is customer data, one, and then you also don't want your competitors knowing what you're doing. And given that all permissionless blockchains are public, there needs to be a way to still use these public blockchains because they're more secure, such as ETH, such as Bitcoin, but being able to have a privacy layer on top of it so that you can conduct certain transactions and do certain things without everyone's eyes on you. And that is one of the problems that this project is trying to solve. All right, now let's start to go through some of their features. Let's go through their privacy router. So the use case for this is anti-CBDC transactions. So it says as central bank digital currencies become more prevalent, Privacy-conscious users can utilize the XRP private route to shield their transactions from surveillance. It talks about what CBDCs are and how they may pose a threat to financial privacy and freedom of individuals and businesses. The XRP private route allows users to convert CBDCs into XRP, the native currency of the XRP ledger, and send them anonymously to any destination on the network. The receiver can then convert the XRP back to their preferred CBDC or fiat currency without revealing their identity or transaction details to the central bank intermediary. So it's almost like a mixer like Tornado Cash, where you can send something or receive something without revealing your identity, which is pretty cool. And they also offer that across cross-border payments, kind of doing the same thing. Now let's go over their ZK Snarky feature. So it says users leverage ZK Snarks to execute confidential transactions across all blockchains, bolstering privacy and scalability while ensuring transactional fungibility. By employing different mathematical constructs and different things, users can obfuscate transaction details while preserving the integrity of the blockchain. And it says ZK Snarks facilitate secure and trustless execution of DeFi transactions, safeguarding user privacy by concealing sensitive information such as credit history, collateral, or interest rates. So it allows you to do different things within DeFi also, without having people's eyes down your neck. Then they have their ZK search. So it goes on to say that traditional search engines such as Google, etc., often come at the cost of your privacy because, Google tracks everything. And they say they're changing that with advanced AI models and decentralized tech. Our search engines never store your data and use advanced cryptography like oblivious transfer and security multi-party computation. This ensures your queries and results are completely protected while still guaranteeing relevant and reliable results. So it allows you to surf the web privately, and it says for researchers, journalists, and anyone who needs reliable, unfiltered info, our search engine is a game changer. MPC and differential privacy protect your search intent so you can find what you need without fear of bias or censorship. So you know how on Google, for example, if you try to search something regarding, the pandemic disease, it'll try to say that doctors and things are lying, and they try to skew your view. So they're aiming to give you a non-biased view on whatever you want to search. Now let's go to their ZK OS, which is their operating systems. An operating system is basically like a developer environment where you can build different use cases. You can think of the EVM as an operating system, like different things can be built on top of Ethereum. And it talks about the use cases here. So it says individuals can leverage ZK OS for encrypted messaging, email, and voice calls, ensuring confidentiality and integrity through advanced cryptographic techniques such as ZK proofs and end-to-end encryption. And then they go to talk about, the journalism and the privacy-focused browsing that we discussed. They have the same thing for mobile, so you can use it for secure mobile banking and have a privacy-centric, application via mobile device. Which is pretty cool. So it offers the same thing on the desktop as it does in mobile, is what they're trying to do. They offer the same thing in VoIP, which is voice over the internet protocol. So it allows you to make secure and anonymous calls, which is pretty cool, without verifying the identity and membership of the caller and without revealing any personal or organizational information. And depending on the type of call, it encrypts voice and video calls with a paraphrase or one-time key. And it also offers other cool features such as hidden contacts and groups, multi-person screen sharing, emoji reactions and stickers, and a dedicated thread for notes and file. And this is all secure without having to reveal certain information, which is really cool. And then they have their ZK Shield, which is privacy preserving payments. And it says it enables users to perform confidential transactions, hiding the amount, sender, and receiver of each payment. It also allows users to run smart contracts on encrypted data, accessing various decentralized services without revealing their identity or activity. ZKML uses ZKPs to verify the validity and integrity of the transactions. Remember, like I said in the beginning of the video, it validates these things without telling you who the person is and how it came to figure out the validity of whatever the transaction is. And it says it protects users from external threats such as surveillance, censorship, front running, and price manipulation by obscuring the transaction graph, metadata, order, and timing. So this is some cool things. And then they have their cross-chain interoperability feature. We kind of talked about this already. It allows you to secretly and privately conduct cross-chain swaps, cross-chain bridges, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, now let's kind of go into the tokenomics. You don't get pretty much any info on the tokenomics. It just says the total supply is 100,000. And even if you come over to CoinGecko, it says that it's 100 million. Sorry, not 100,000. It says 100 million. I can't find out what the actual market cap is. I can only see what the fully diluted valuation is. And that's really low for a fully diluted valuation, $47 million. This has a lot of room for growth that we're going to get into here pretty soon. Going back here, let's check out their roadmap. Now, guys, one thing about this project, they're talking about everything that they're going to do. All of these features aren't live yet. You don't have information on the founder, so that is a red flag. So for those reasons, this is why this is a very high risk investment and why I'm investing an extremely small amount. But the upside is really, really huge. Like, even if they don't deliver, I think this project can still pump just off of the narrative of it being zero knowledge technology and being within the layer 2 narrative and just the overall bull market. So they talk about all the things that they want to go through and establish and, all the projects that they want to integrate with. So I'm just going to keep my eyes on this project and see if they continue to ship. And if I get more confident, then, maybe I'll invest a little bit more. So now if we head over to their website, they have some pretty cool graphics. They pretty much talk about the things that we went through on the docs. And this is actually different from when I went on it last time. So they're, making it look pretty, but I want to see the actual product being updated, right? Talk about how it works, the phases, all that stuff. And then you can actually launch the dApp, and it looks like you can use the send and receive as well. I saw someone on the internet using their ZK search feature, like the internet browser, and it looked like it worked pretty good. So they have some out and live. I'm not going to connect my wallet because I'm not on my high risk wallet right now. And like I said, this is a high risk play, so I don't want to risk anything. Guys, I think this project has a lot of cool features. I really like the ZK OS, the operating system, because that allows it to be a platform. And throughout history, platforms have been the best investments. Ethereum is the top platform for dApps. Apple, in their OS, is a platform. You have the App Store. You have Facebook as the top platform for marketing. You have Google as this top search engine platform. So something like ZK technology being a platform that overlays across different blockchains but allows you to have certain privacy features. If they ship and they build the things that they're trying to do and they end up solving the problem, this can go to many multiples of $1 billion market cap. Easy. This is a hair on fire problem, and we do have institutions and company and people trying to get on chain, but they are going to want to have some privacy, and they could use a protocol like this if they deliver. So now that we have that, let's go over my take profit strategy. I'm going to show you how I plan on turning $10,000 into $135,000. So here we are. Right now, the current price is 47 cents. And when you're coming up with your take profit plan, you want to have a conservative and an aggressive estimate as to where you think the price or the market cap is going to go. And you have your take profit strategy set up to where even if it doesn't hit the conservative or if it exceeds the aggressive, you're still able to essentially profit and profit big. All right, so that's the idea. So let's start out. Your current holdings at the beginning is $5,000. My first take profit level is going to be once it does a 7x. So that's going to bring the price from 47 cents to $3.29. And we're going to be at a $335 million market cap. My 5K is going to be worth 35K. So now I'm taking off 10K in profits. I'm taking off my principal plus double. So now I'm in a risk-free trade, right? So I have $25,000 left in the position. My second take profit levels is going to be when it does a 3x, which will bring the price to $9.87. And it'll bring the market cap to $1 billion and some change. So now my 25K is going to be worth 75K. And I'm going to take 25K in profits. The more it goes up, the more profits I'm taking because I'm realizing that it's getting closer to the top. And I don't know if I mentioned, but my conservative market cap that I think it'll hit is 500 million and my aggressive is 2 billion. But I realized that I could be extremely wrong on this play, so I'm okay with going a little riskier. And normally, what I mean by that is normally I like to take profits like before even levels. So on this one, I took profits before 500 million. Normally, I'll take profits before $1 billion because that's a big even level. But like I said, I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit because I have a lot of other investments that I'm really convicted on where I'm a little more conservative. So I'm okay with this. This is my moon bag and I'm already in a risk-free trade. So after I take off 25K in profits, I'm going to have $50,000 left. My third take profit level is going to be, when it does, a 2x. It's going to bring the market cap from 1 billion and some change to 2 billion and some change. My 50K is going to be worth 100K. At this point, I'm taking off half. And now if you add up my profits with the current position that I still have, you just turn $50,000 into $135,000. Now, this project could go up to a $5 billion market cap, could go up to 7. So you're probably wondering, what do I do with the remaining 50K? What I'm going to do is every time there's a 25% increase, I'm taking off 50% in profits. I'm dollar cost averaging my way out because these projects that go up fast, they come down even faster, and I don't want to be stuck holding the bags. I'm trying to maximize my profits. All right, for all of you rascals who stuck around to the end, as promised, I'm going to show you my ZKML yield farming strategy and show you how you can accumulate ZKML and ETH at over 500% APY right now. A few weeks, it was much higher, right? And before I jump into this, if you guys want to learn how to do this research that I do professionally and learn how to print money like market makers have been doing since the 19th century, I called out ZKML in my group a few weeks ago. My users got to profit. They get access to my research and my YouTube videos before they hit the internet. Click the link in the description, book a free strategy session. You'll probably talk to me, maybe one of our team members. We'll see what your goals are, see how we can help you, and see if our program's a good fit for you. If it's not, we're happy to point you in the right direction. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the yield farming strategy. All right, so what you want to do is go to CoinGecko. You scroll down to see where most of the trading is happening. And it's all happening in one place. Uniswap v3 on ETH mainnet. So now we want to go to Uniswap and look at the pool. So you type in ZKML, and then also it's worth to note that it's ZKML wrapped ETH, not USDC. So you could provide liquidity in ZKML USDC, but you'll be the only person there. And people probably won't trade there because the slippage will be high unless you just hop in there with $1 million or something like that, or something that's more than this one. So you can see right now on the ETH ZKML, the TVL is only 15K. The 24-hour volume was 12K. So the volume was almost the same amount as the TVL, and you're getting a 1% on each transaction, which is really good. So now let's click it. You can see that the volume has been down lately. Even on a fairly low day, the volume was 179K. With the TVL of 15K or 20K, you have a volume that is pretty much almost 10x the TVL. So that allows you to make some extremely high profits. And then if you go back here, you have volume at almost $1 million a day, 452K, 82K. And though it's low right now, I talk about on this channel all the time, one of my strategies is trying to provide liquidity for pairs before people come in and start buying them by the troves, because the few people that are in it will get to make astronomical yields, like sometimes quadruple digit yields. And as you can see, just from this little bit, you'll be able to get over 500% right now with this low volume, right? So what I'm going to do is, normally I go on builder metrics, but this token wasn't on there. So I went to DeFi Labs and I want to back test my range that I select. So I go over to Dex Screener, and this is the range that I want to provide liquidity in. You take this bottom number here, which is 8848 after a few zeros, and then 3971. And I have it here because I think that ZKML is going to outperform ETH in the short term. So I want to give this room to run. So from current price, I'm saying that I think ZKML is going to outperform ETH over 189%, right? And that's while ETH is still going up. But with the ETH ETF, ETH is going to pump too. So both are going to pump. So that'll allow me a better chance to stay in range. So now I'll go on DeFi Llama. I paste those numbers here down there. I already did it. And it gives you all of the data. So you can see the daily volume. You can see the TVL, how it's kind of been decreasing, but that's okay because, you know, we want to sell shovels before the gold miners come in. This is the important part here. This is strategy one. Right, so you can see the APR right now with this low volume. This is for the last 30 days. You can see that the APR is 530%, right? For a 72% return in just 30 days is what I would have gotten if I was in here for 30 days. That's really, really good. And with the range that I selected, I would have been in range 92% of the time, guys. That is excellent. And it even shows you how you would have done had you provided liquidity within that range or just hodled ZKML and ETH 50-50. You would have wildly outperformed it yield farming. This isn't always the case. And, you know, I'm not just trying to outperform hodling all the time. I use a certain percentage of my portfolio, around 20, to be yield farming with all time, so I can continually accumulate assets that I think are going to pump, so I can take profits on them, rebalance my portfolio, and just rinse and repeat. Yield farming is a tool on your investment tool belt. It is not the end all be all. But as you can see here, it would have outperformed it had you just held, which is rare, but hey, this is the value that we give you on this channel. And had you been in here for the last month, you would have gotten this much earlier. So guys, with that, I like to conclude this video. If you got value, I ask that you drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Let me know what project you want me to cover next, what sector, what narrative you want me to cover next. But other than that, I thank you so much for watching. I love every single one of you who's tuned in right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and trade safe.